In the previous class, we discussed the problems on consolidation. We almost solved, not so exactly solved, but we strategized how to solve the problems in consolidation. So as I said, there are no specific steps for any formula. You have to have the understanding of the concepts in this unit. It's not that you memorize 2 or 3 steps to solve some typical problems. In exam or in any of the government sector competitive examinations, you may be asked any sort of question which you have never seen in your life before. So even that might be the case. So in such cases, how to approach the problem is always important. Let it be soil mechanics or any other subject, the approach of solving the problem always helps students to crack the examinations. It's not the steps you remember for a typical problem, it's the approach you have. And to have a proper approach, you require 2 things. First is understanding the given data or understanding the problem. For that, you have to have thorough understanding of that unit, the practical applications. And the second important thing is formulae. So you should either find a hack to remember all the formulae or just simply mug up all the formulae. That is better, because if you practice even more and more, that formula will automatically find a space in your brains. So it works either way. Now, the previous we have solved 5 problems. Now we'll move on and solve more 4 to 5 problems in this class. As I said, if you have any doubts, you can always contact the professors. We are solving the problems from the book BC Punmiya, because we have lots of copies in our library. So I hope everyone or most of you must be having this copy of BC Punmiya. It will be easy for you to study. Now today we will start with the problem 15.8. So you can pause the video here and just read out the problem. Just don't look at the solution, just read out the problem and try to understand what is given and what is asked. So just read out for you. A clay layer has a thickness of 5 meters. So when they say it's 5 meters, that means it's in the field, not in the lab. Okay, in the lab generally it is around 2 centimeters or maximum 3 centimeters. And it is subjected to 60 kilonewton per meter square or 60 kPa. So we have a field and we have a clayey soil over there, and we have on the top some building or some extra soil or extra stones or anything which is imparting 60 kPa pressure on that soil. Another important thing you should always look in the formula is the drainage condition. So whether it is double drainage or single drainage. So in this problem we have a double drainage system. That means what? When the clay will be squeezed or will be deformed under that loading, the water inside it will have either 2 ways to go out, that is from the top or the bottom, or may have only one way, either top or either bottom. So if it is 2 way, it will settle fast. If it's only one way, it will settle comparatively slower. So in this case we have double drainage. So the next data is it undergoes 50% consolidation in 1 year. So now that soil under that loading goes under 50% consolidation. Here I want to just discuss one thing. It might have been discussed in theory by the other professors. Consolidation of a soil, the ultimate consolidation of the soil is always fixed for a given loading. For example, I have this layer of soil, I put some pressure of let's say 10 kPa, so it will settle little bit. So that will be the fixed ultimate settlement for that soil, for that loading. You increase the loading, again it will settle and again it will stop. Again you increase the load, again it will settle and again it will stop. So for every loading it will settle some amount which is fixed for that loading. Now how much time it will take, it depends on the drainage. If it is double drainage, it will take lesser time. If it is single drainage, it will take more time. But however, the settlement, how much it will take undergo under that loading will always be same. The ultimate settlement is same. So for this case, we have a 5 meters of soil, 60 kPa of loading, and it undergoes 50% of settlement in 1 year. Let's say that 5 meters of soil under 60 kPa, the ultimate settlement is 10 centimeters. So to 50% means 5 centimeters. To settle 5 centimeters, it is taking 1 year. So this is the understanding you should have of the problem. They have asked you to find out the coefficient of consolidation. That means what? CV. So it's a constant for that soil. So based on all these parameters, you have to find the coefficient. Once you know this coefficient, then you can, for any time, you can find out any settlement. So these all, you can play with all these factors once you know the CV. They have given you TV as 0.197. So for U 50%, you can also calculate by the formula we discussed in the previous class, which is pi by 4 U by 100%. Sometimes this TV value is directly given to you. So in this problem, they have directly given to you the value is 0.197. So this is the first question they have asked, CV. The second part of this question is, also if the coefficient of permeability is 0.025 meters per year, determine the settlement in 1 year. Now we have another set of, now just reading at it, it will look complicated. You will be confused like how to solve this, or you have not seen this question before. So this is the time you shouldn't panic. Be calm, just read the question, write the given data, and related to that given data and what is asked, you just write down all the formulae you know in this topic. Then we'll discuss later. So take your time, read and try to write the given data and try to write the formula. So I'll write the given data now. So we have in the field, H is 5 meters, sigma on that is 60 kPa. For U 50%, the time for 50%, I'm writing it as T50. So the time is 1 year. They have asked you to find CV. They have also given the value of TV. So TV is given 0.197. As I told you, sometimes they may not give you this value of TV. So as we discussed in the previous class, if U is given, we can find out TV. So if U is given, we can find out TV. So we have two formulas for TV. When U is less than or equals to 60%, we have one formula. You can look at this formula from the previous videos, and they have one more formula for U is greater than 60%. Now it is already less than 60%, so we will be using the first formula, and even if you use that, you may find out that the value of TV is 0.1. So it is directly given. Now just look at this given data and try to find out, see that CV is asked, this is the formula we have, or this is the given data we have. So what formulas should come into your mind? So you can go back to the list of formulae we have discussed in the previous videos. I have given you a big chart which have all the formulae which are required or involved in this unit. So you can go back to that chart and just write down what are the formulas involved in this. Okay. So write down the first formula. What is TV? CV T by D square. Okay, one more data is they've given you. It is a double drainage. So if it is double drainage, it's not visible right here. If it is double drainage, D is equals to H by 2. If it is single drainage, D equals to H. So here D is 2.5 meters. Now just look at the formula and see if the given data what we have. Do we have everything here? So we want CV. TV is known to us. Yes, it is. If it is not given, I have told you to find out from the formula. Is T given? Yes, 1 year. T is given? Yes, 2.5. So from this you can find out the value of CV. Very straightforward. Now next what they have asked. K value is given. So with this we finish. I'll just write the answer. It's 1.23 meters per year. Meter square per year. So this is the formula. So with this we finish the first part. Now in the second part they have given you the value of K. So coefficient of permeability, small k, which is 0.025 meters per year. Now if K comes into the picture, we have only one formula which involves K. Just go back and look at the formula. Formula we have is CV equals to K MV gamma W. CV equals to K MV gamma W. This is the formula we have. What else you want? Just look at the question first. What they have asked. If the permeability is given, find a settlement in 1 year. So if K value is given, they have asked you to find settlement. So I will write at rho if you want, or also you can write it as delta H. So any formula which involves rho or delta H, just go back and see. Yeah, you are right. The formula is MV sigma into H. So this is what they have asked. This is what they have asked. So this is the main equation we want. So in this, what are the unknown data? H, do you know? It is given as 5 meters, so H value you know. The change in stress is given. How much stress is applying? It's 60 kPa, so it is given. Now one more thing here. The formula is delta sigma. So don't try to find out two sigma values for subtraction, sigma 1 and sigma 2. Delta sigma means what? The additional stress. So the one which is now and the one which was before the difference. For example, in this problem it is given the clay layer and there is 60 kPa on it. So before it, if there is no data given, what is the stress on that? We'll assume it as 0. So before any stress on the soil, if no data is given, the stress will be 0. Now what they have said, the stress is 60. So automatically delta sigma will be 60 minus 0, 60. So this is like an understanding of the concept. There is no data given, you assume it as 0, and delta sigma is nothing but the sigma 2 or the sigma value which is given to you. So 60 is given. So this is 60, this is 5. We have to find MV. Now to find MV, we can use this formula, right? Now to come to this CV value you can put it here. K value is given to you you can put it here. Gamma W or unit weight of water is how much? So there are two values here, general standard. It is based on the unit. If everything is in grams per cc, it is 1, and everything if it is in kilonewton and meters, we have 9.81. This you remember. So this is gamma W, this is also rho W. So density, unit weight, both are one and the same, just a matter of units. Okay. Now coming back to this. So this gamma W you can get from this. So using this equation, I will get the value of mv. Take this mv and put it over here. So you have all the three values. You can find your settlement. The answer comes out to be okay, 0.315 meters. You can also check in the book. If you are getting a different answer, there are also some, and if you have cross-checked it for a lot of number of times, there are also chances that there is a printing mistake in the book. Okay, so don't get panicked if you, so even after solving for multiple times you are getting the same answer which is wrong and not according to the textbook. Even the textbooks can be wrong sometimes. So, okay, so you got this, how to approach. If you see in the book, they have just given the steps like where there is no relation to the final output. They will just keep on solving and you have to remember those steps. So this will not work all the time. So as I said, you write the formulae, see what is unknown. Accordingly, you start finding the other parameters in the formulae and will definitely come to the answer. Okay. Now we will go for the next problem. So there are various other types of problem which are a little bit of higher level, which we don't expect from you. So if you have time, if you have some interest, you can always go ahead and solve. If you have any doubts, you can come and ask. But for your level, from your exam point of view, we'll be solving some typical problems, and similar to those will be asked in your final exam. Okay. Now if you see in the book, from 15.15, so page number 372 in the PC Punmiya, we have examples from competitive exams. So we'll try to attack those problems and see if we are able to solve them or not. Okay. So there are some problems which are very easy. So you can just read out problem 15.15. Also see, we have already discussed the many problems so far now, and I repeatedly say it's always about the approach. So any doubts if you may have while solving, you please feel free to contact us. And in this special videos using Impartus, I'll be going in detail in small tricks or small steps which are generally confusing. Somehow I know some students, when they are stuck somewhere, they just simply try to mug it up. So it's not the way. If you're stuck somewhere and if you're not knowing how it came, so it's always better to go and find out the reason behind it. Don't just avoid it and go ahead, because in future somehow it will always come back to you and you will be stuck over there. So I hope you have read the problem. I'll just write the given data now straight away. So we have a clay 2.5 centimeter thick sample taken from the field. So see now, now we have two cases here. So one is field and one is lab. Generally we take samples from the field, we test in the lab and predict the values and go in the field. For example, let's say you are an engineer and there is a contractor or a client who is going to construct a building or a structure on that existing soil, and he would like to know how much settlement will occur in that soil or in the field, because as you know, according to even to the codes, we have a maximum amount of settlement which should occur after your building is constructed. If it exceeds, there may be some problems of settlement or differential settlement, and which may lead to the cracks or even to the failure of the complete building. So this is the kind of task which will come to you as an engineer. So what you need to do, or what is the standard procedure? You go to the field, you take out the sample, as much as possible you go deep. You can do it by boring. If it is a small light structure, you can just go dig some pit holes or trial pits, and you can take even sample from there. So basically you have to collect the sample from the field, bring it to the lab and test it in the consolidation test apparatus. It is also called as oedometer test. I hope you are well versed with this test. It has been explained in the previous videos by other professors for the theory. If you have more doubts, you can always go and watch more videos on oedometer test or one-dimensional consolidation test. So in this case now, there is a field and they want to know the properties or the settlement in the field and how much time it will take, something, all these sort of problems. So in the lab we have prepared a sample of 2.5 centimeters, and in the field they say they want to know the time, they want to predict the time for this settlement, and what the building they are going to construct on the soil, it will put a pressure of 10.5 tons per meter square. So in the field, if you see, the sigma or delta sigma, whatever that building is going to exert, is 10.5 tons per meter square. Now similarly, what we do is, whatever stress you are expecting in your field, for that stress we will test in the lab. So in the lab there is almost no end to test. If you have big sophisticated instruments, you can test that sample for even very heavy loads. So if the sample is small, you can also load it very heavily. So in the field, if you are expecting the stress or loading of 10.5 tons per meter square, even in the lab, I would like to test this for the same load and see how much it will settle. It shouldn't happen that if it is the field, it's 10.5, in the lab, you test it for only 5 or 1, and you find the values and give it to the client. So it is not a good method, or even it's not a professional thing to do. So you try to ask him what type of building you are constructing in the field and how much pressure or load it will exert onto the soil. So for that stress or even more, you can test in the lab. So I'll just take they have taken the same stress here in the lab also. It is 10.5 tons per meter square. So they have tested this sample in the lab for the same stress. And the drainage is allowed from top and bottom. So whenever, see, in the lab, the drainage conditions is always double. Its value is h by 2, so 2.5 by 2. See, there are, if you have read enough about the consolidation test, so there are two types of tests where we have drainage conditions. So 99% or even you can say 100% in the lab will go for the double drainage, because if you go for the single drainage in the lab, it would take months together to do one test. So even there are some cases, even if you go for double drainage system in the lab test, it generally takes 2 to 3 weeks for a small sample to consolidate. So you can just see the amount of time it takes. So most of the cases, or you can assume that in the lab it is always double drainage. In the field it may not be double, it may be a single drainage. So you have a soil layer, let's say like this is your ground surface, and you have a soil layer like this, and here you have rock. So this is the example of single drainage, and which is in the most of the cases in the field. But you won't simulate this condition in the lab, it will take too much time. So you will do the test as a double, but always remember, even if you do the test for double, you can also predict the values of settlement in the single. It's always the same. It's just a matter of time. So I repeat again, you keep this into your mind. The drainage conditions, whether it is single or double, will be only related to the time taken. It won't affect the settlement. The settlement in both the cases anyhow will always be the same. It's just a matter of time. Okay. So the drainage is double. It was seen that 50% of the total settlement occurred in 3 minutes. So I don't know if it's visible here, I'll just erase this. So in the lab, 50%, so U is 50, so T 50, how much is T? 50, 3 minutes. Anything else is given? No. So 50% of the settlement occurs in 3 minutes. So this is the data given to you. Now here comes the question. Find the time required for 50% of the settlement in the field if the clay layer is 6 meter thick, which extends from ground surface, and it is under 10 by sand. So this is very important. Now they're talking about the field conditions now. So in the lab, for 50% of that consolidation, it will take 3 minutes. So in the field, how much time will it take? And what is the drainage condition in the field? It may not be always same, as I told. So in this case, what they're telling, even in the field they have soil, and below this is the clay of our interest, and we have a sand below it. So what it says, what does it mean? It has a double drainage. So fortunately we have the same condition in the field. So D is h by 2. Here the h is how much? 6 meters. So D is h by 2, 3 meters. Okay, in both the cases U is same. So we'll try to solve the problem in a tabular manner. You have 2 columns, first for lab and one for field. Here h is 2.5 centimeters. Here h is 6 meters, so I can write 600 centimeters. Is it? Yeah, it is 6 meters. So I'm converting this into the same unit. Always remember, keep same units. Let it be meters, or you convert this into meters, whatever you want, but always keep a uniform unit throughout. So h is same. H value we have. Similarly, D value we can also find half of this. D value for half of this. Now we always give conditions, like for example, we'll give numbers. So we have 2 conditions here. So lab will give 1, field will give 2. So all the suffixes for this will be 1 and 2. So this will be H1, H2, D1 and D2. Anything else is known to you? Is it the same soil? Yes, the same soil from the field we are testing in the lab. So in this case, the CV1 and CV2, they both are same because it's same soil. So this is the property of soils, it's the same soil. These both values are same. What else is given? U. So in both the cases, how much is the percentage of concentration? So here U is 50, same, U is 50. So therefore, when the U comes into the picture, always the next thing which should click is TV. So here both is same, so TV1 also is equals to TV2. What else is known? For here the time is in minutes, 3 minutes, and they have asked you to find the time here. Now this is the kind of given data also and kind of your solution. Look at it, try to compare, see what you think of, what formula is required and how will you approach. In the previous problem we have seen there was just only one condition in the field, and using one formula you have to just input all the inputs there and you get the answer. Now we have two conditions. So as I said before, even there are two conditions, you try to find out a term which is same in both so that you can equate. Now there are two things which are same in both the cases, which is CV1 and CV2. Another thing is TV1 and TV2. So amongst this, which one will you choose? Yeah, you're correct. We'll use the second one. So you choose the formula for TV1. So what is the formula for TV? Write it down. CVT by D square. So formula for TV is what? CVT by D square. So this is a general formula. So I choose this condition and I'll put that formula in both these two. So for example, I'll write TV1 equals to TV2. So CV1 T1 upon D1 square, CV2 D2, sorry, T2 upon D2 square. Now this is what we have to solve. This is what we have. What will get cancelled? CV1 and CV2 is same, so this will get cancelled. Do you know the value of T1? Yes, we know the value of T1. What is unknown here? You have to find out. So unknown is T2. Do you know T1? Yes. D1, yes. D2, yes. So now the problem is easy. The unknown is T2, and from that ratio you can find the value of T2. Got this? Okay. Now we'll move on to the next problem. 15.16. So take your time and try to read the problem. 15.16. Again I repeat, we are solving the problems from the book BC Punmia. So along with this video, you are also expected to solve the problems. It's not that just watching this video you will try to understand. Even after watching this video, you may think, "Arey, this seems pretty easy," but when you are solving on your own alone, you will find difficulties. It's my personal experience. When you are solving in a group or at every step, we will be guided by someone, either it's professor or your friends. But when you're solving alone, your brain will ask for some help from the others. So at that time, no one will come for your help. So it's always better to at least give a try to solve the problems on your own. You do at least one or two after this watching this video, and try to see if you can solve 2 or 3 problems on your own without anyone's help. Okay. I hope you have read the question. You can pause the video anytime and take your time to understand and digest the question. Okay. Next problem we have see here, now they are not talking about clay. One more thing here, it's like very common and also very usual to neglect this understanding. In every problem in the given data about the soil, that clay layer may be expressed in different forms. In the previous problem it was written as just clay. In this problem it is written as compressible layer. In any other things it may be written as marshy soil. So one thing is very normal, that as these are the problems on consolidation, that soil has to be a clayey soil or which is compressible soil. But you should also think on these lines that what type of problem we are getting for what type of soil. So how they describe the soil, it's also very important. So this type of soil will come across in your practical experience. So we have a compressible layer. The total settlement is given as 15 centimeters. So they have not given the load here. So they have given that for some loading the total settlement is 15 centimeters. So I can write it as rho final or delta H settlement final is 15 centimeters. And with some practice, what you must go through is, even when you read the first given data, the first line, as soon as you write the given data, that formula should flash into your mind. So I am talking about ultimate settlement. So it's MV sigma H. So some type of this or any formula which involves settlement should click into your brains. Okay. Next thing is, it settles by 3 centimeter at the end of 2 months. So I can see here there is a series of questions related to this. Okay, so I'll just try to write it in a tabular form. I hope it is helpful for you. So the case 1. So settlement is 3 centimeter, time is 2 months. So I can write for time, I'll call it T1, time 2 months, delta H1 is 3 centimeters. Again, I just write in the given data. The second is, they have asked the time and the settlement is given. So they have asked, I'll call it T2, and delta H is given as 7.5 centimeters. There's one more thing given. Again they have given you time, I'll call it T3, 18 months, and they have to ask you to find the settlement. So delta H 3 I'll get. So this is the kind of question they have asked. So this is the given data and this is what they have asked, the question marks. One more thing they have given you is the drainage condition. So what is it? They have given you as double drainage. So D equals to H by 2. Now just can you imagine why this D value is given? Or can you see find H anywhere? No. So don't get panicked. If you think that there is no value given, don't try to assume anything. Just try to move ahead with the problem. You will find a time that H value will get cancelled out somewhere, that D value will get cancelled out somewhere. So you may not actually require that value to solve this problem. Okay. Now how will you proceed? What formula will come into your mind? So when we are talking about T, time, so what thing should come into your mind? TV, formula is what? CV T by D square. And when this TV comes into the picture, what is the factor which is related to TV? It is U, degree of consolidation. And what is the, how will you find U? So it is row or settlement at any time upon the final settlement. So this is U given to you. So from this you can, or this or this into 100 percentage. We have already discussed this. So from this settlement values you can find U. From this U you can find TV, and from this TV you can find any time T. So this is all related. So it's like flows. So starting from U, so for you have to know the settlements value. Then from U you can find out TV. We have those two formulas. From this TV you can find this, or either way. So there are three dependent formulas in a cycle. So you can always find out one or the other value from this. Okay. So I hope you can solve this problem. Straightforward. There is another problem which we have already solved in the previous video, which has come in some government exam. Okay, and there is one last type of problem where you have to find out the settlement. Okay, so if I hope you have remember this formula, settlement equals to Cc h upon 1 plus E naught log sigma plus delta sigma upon sigma dash. So using this formula, this is also very, these formulas, these problems are very easy formula, that's why we have not discussed here. We have solved it in the previous videos. So there is no much strategy or no much special attention to be given to this type of formula. So these are very pretty straight formula. The only thing you have to find out will be the effective stresses or the sigma into the soil. So we have already discussed this, so we won't spend time on this. Some problems will be based on Cc value, so delta E, delta sigma, log, everything on that. I'm not sure if they ask you to draw the plots, but one more thing you can do is you can see how the actual plots are drawn from the test. So if you join some company or some consultancy where they do some test, so you should be knowing how to do this test. Moreover, how to get the data from the test and plot the graphs. I'll repeat, this is not easy. So don't expect that just from the formulas you will be, or just from the simple formulae or the given data from the lab, from the test, you will be able to plot this. So it's a very complicated test, and what we discuss here is very crude. So these are the basic tests what we do in this. Actually, if you see, go into the practical cases, the people have gone to a very higher level of understanding of this test. They have just by the same data what we have, there are few other theories which can have like a multiple level of and higher level of understanding of this from the soil from just this single test. So you can always explore this. Generally we expect this type of understanding from the master students who do MTech in geotech. So after your graduation you can always think of this field of geotech, and this test is very important, by the way, in the field and also in the research. This test is very important. So at this stage now, what you do, you can take a sample test data, read any book and try to plot the curves of this test. A simple E versus sigma curve or E versus log sigma curve. So these are the basic two curves which we have to plot, but what plot you get from the test is completely different. So you will get settlement versus time. So I'll just explain quickly. So what happens in this lab test, so we have this small sample and you load it, that's it. The test is very simple, but the arrangement and everything is little bit complicated. So this is a sample. Generally it is 2 to 3 centimeters, and the diameter is around 6 centimeters. So generally this is the scale. You can also increase, decrease depending on you, but this is more or less a standard dimensions. So you put some load on it, and what will happen? The water from it, as it is a double drainage, so we will have some porous stones here. So this water will try to go out, half from the top, half from the bottom, and it will take some time to settle. For let's say I put some stress of 12 kPa. So what type of graph will you get? So I'll call this as for time, and this is settlement or deformation, whatever. So if you start loading, so initially the time 0, the settlement is 0, it is freely sitting, the soil is freely sitting in the apparatus. Now you put some load on the soil, what will happen? It will start consolidating. So that it will start settling. So we are drawing the graph in the opposite direction, because the settlements are always in a negative or a decreasing fashion. So we plot it like this. In most of the cases you might have seen the plots are like this. So you show it positive, but this is the case as it is decreasing. After every gradual increment we show it decreasing. So this is decreasing here like this, and after 1 day, 2 day, or whatever, 1 hour, 2 hour, depending upon the compressibility of the soil, it will settle and it will become constant. So once you know this is constant, this is for 12 kPa. So I'll put extra load, I'll increase it double, I'll go for 25. So once it becomes constant, I'll put more load. So the total stress on that is now 25. I repeat, the total. Okay. So now it's under 25. So you have to add just plus 12. It will again get constant. So once after 1 day, 2 day, whatever. Then again if it's constant, again you put some load same as 25. So it will become double as 50. So you'll go on doing this test until the desired load. So in the field, if it is, let's say, going for 400 kPa, then I'll go on increasing to go for 400 kPa. So just see how much time it will take. Sometimes it can take up to 2 days just for one loading. So repeatedly loading, you have to do this test. Okay. So we have the stresses here, sigma, and this is the final settlement. These are the values. So from this settlement, we'll convert this to E. How to convert? So delta H upon initial H strain is E upon 1 plus E naught or E initial. So with this relationship, you will be knowing the initial height, initial voids ratio. Delta H will get from this, how much it has settled, this deformation. This value you put it here, so you will get the value of E. So this E, I'll call it as E1 for this 12. So if for this we'll get E2, for this we'll get E3 similarly. So from this you can plot E1, E2, E3, 12, 25, 50, and you will get some curve like this. This is what we get the plots. For analysis of this, there is another way of plotting this. Instead of putting this in normal scale, you put this in log scale. So this is sigma E. So I'll put this as log of sigma and E. You will find it that this curved line will become straight. And other rest part you have already studied. The slope of this is AV, the slope of this is CC, and all the other things. Okay, so this is how the test is done. I hope I have explained you the test. You can go ahead and read again, so it will be more clear to you. So with this we finish. Any doubts you have with consolidation, we can always discuss. In the next video, we'll be discussing on the unit number 4, shear strength problems. We have already solved all the problems and the theory, but in these few lectures, extra lectures, we'll only discuss and focus and put light on some important points and some tricks how to solve the problem. Okay, thank you.